How is it going, everyone? I hope you're having an awesome day, an awesome Friday, right? It's Friday? Pretty sure it's Friday. What is it? Gosh, let me actually check the calendar here. It is the last day of May, and that means that we are 11 days away from E3. Let that sink in. 11 days away from the big Nintendo Direct. Heck, more than that. We are actually just 5 days away. Probably a little bit less than 5 days away, to be honest, from the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct happening on the 5th, bright and early at like 8 a.m. Central. So we are coming up on one of the biggest gaming seasons of the year. Heck, for me, it kind of also begins on the 5th, where not only do we have the Pokemon stuff, that's when I leave my house. I leave my house at about, 6 or 7 p.m., drive an hour and a half to the cities, get our car situated, our parking situated, go to sleep, basically, and then wake up super early in the morning from the hotel to get on an early morning flight and head out to LA and begin all of our coverage. Obviously, official E3 stuff starts happening on the 8th. You have Nintendo with their tournament, which features Mario Maker 2, that Invitational, Splatoon, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Also, EA Play begins that day, which I think probably the one thing that people might pay attention to from EA Play is they are kicking off the EA Play online stream with Star Wars. So some people are very interested to see what that Star Wars game is like. Eric and I will be attending EA Play that day, so we won't be going to all the Nintendo shenanigans. And you might be like, well, why don't you just go to EA Play on Sunday instead? Well, one, going to the Nintendo shenanigans in person doesn't get us anything. We don't get to play games or try out anything, so there's no benefit to us being there versus watching online besides the experience. And while the experience is always cool to be at those fan events, we have a chance to actually go hands-on with some games literally on the 8th. I would love to go hands-on with Star Wars, but I sincerely doubt they're going to have that playable at EA Play. But whatever. We are heading up on E3 season, and things are just ramping up in the news. Before we get into any of the news or your guys' questions or whatever, because this is just kind of a, hey, I threw some topics in the title, some news things I want to bring up. And then, we'll just get to the Q&A stuff. Now, some people might be wondering, Nate, are you doing this in lieu of uploading a video today? No. However, the video that I have going up today is probably going to go up really late. It's actually uploading right now. There are 30 minutes left on the upload. The video is almost 2 hours long, and it features Nintendo Cade Gaming. And if we're bringing on a special guest, it must be something special. That's right. It is a special podcast episode that isn't even live for our patrons yet. Patrons, don't worry. You're going to get a preview of the betting special and stuff coming up here. But it is a special Nintendo E3 predictions, speculation, discussion of E3 in general kind of podcast with Nintendo Cade Gaming and Eric. So I hope you look forward to that. That should be going up at some point tonight. It's in crisp 4K, and I do say it looks absolutely stunning, taking full advantage of this camera. It's going to be, hopefully you guys really enjoy the conversation, more so than obviously the resolution. Who cares about resolution, right? We're Nintendo fans. We're used to gaming at 400p on some games, 240p on 3DS. So, anyways, let me get into shouting to you guys out here. Ashton Fire Falcon XB is here. Sonic Man the best. Seahawks 24 rule. Let's see here. Ariel Lazarus is here. That one guy. Tommy Karatzikos is here. Kirby Dude. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Shiny Ray 01 is here. I think that's all. Edward Noy as well. I saw a bunch of you guys say hi to me. So, hey, how's it going? I am here. Also, over on Twitch, yes, folks, I actually have the Twitch chat up. We have Vlobs over there who said, hey, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Tommy Kratzikos? I don't know. No one pronounces my name right either. If I just type it up, people are like, how do you pronounce that? Before we get into the conversations as well, I wanted to mention, obviously, that all Super Chats and donations today, during this stream, this evening, this stream, I don't know how long it's going to be, hour and a half, 2 hours, I have no idea. Every Super Chat and donation will lead to me doing shots of wherever it is. I don't know, it's up there. Some Dr. McGillicuddy's stuff. Also, I want to note that we have a special going on with our Patreon right now. I have completely updated and did massive sweeping changes to Patreon, patreon.com/Nintendo Prime, with new tiers, new stretch goals, moving some stretch goals around, trying to make things a bit more realistic for me, as I will be having I don't want to say a different job, but another job, potentially another full-time job besides YouTube, once I'm back from E3. So because of that, I had to change up the stretch goals to be in a way that makes it more realistic for my current time availability, and then also to what am I going to need to make more available time. Basically, what needs to happen for me to not do so much work at the full-time job and then focus more on the channel. Basically, what do I need to do to get back to YouTube full-time? So that's happening. But that's not really what I care to mention. I just wanted to bring that up because that just happened. From today through the 13th, so through the end of day on the 13th, we are doing a special for every new $5 and up Patreon backer that joins the Patreon. You will be getting a personalized thank you video recorded by me and sent to you. Heck, Eric might even be in it as well. We are recording all of these personal thank you videos while we are at E3. So I'm literally going to try to make it as unique as possible. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to grab, someone that we bump into, another YouTuber or something, get them in there, get a cool background going on. Maybe, if you happen to have a favorite game at E3, maybe you want some that footage or a statue or something from that game in the background. Well, I personally thank you for your patronage. It is a special we're doing only for brand new patrons who join the $5 and up Patreon tier from now through the 13th. And if you do join, thank you so much. Obviously, thank you to all of our current Patreon backers. If you're a Patreon backer and wondering what the heck's been going on with all the Patreon stuff, again, check my new post on Patreon I put up a couple days ago that kind of explains all the changes, explains what's been going on, why the podcast has been spotty, all that jazz, and when the podcast is going back on schedule, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's actually see what you guys are saying, because I see a couple questions already. Let me see here. What was the first question? I kind of missed it there for a second. I thought I saw an at Nintendo Prime somewhere. Ashton Fire Falcon XP says, do you know if you can use the same email for multiple channels? You can, but they don't like it. Basically, you have to have a... How do I put this? There's a primary email for each channel, right? So right now, my YouTube channel is connected to a certain email. And that email is also connected to another YouTube channel. So you can have like multiple, but they get really finicky about it and they don't like it. They like you to have one email per channel, and then you can grant access to other emails to access that same channel. That's kind of what they want you to do. But I don't know. I mean, all I know is I have one email that can access two different channels right now. Let's see here. Edward Noy says, what are you expecting from third parties on Switch at this E3? I'm optimistic this year. Oh, excuse me, I itch. Not a lot, to be honest. My optimism is not where everyone else is. If you guys didn't get it from that Call of Duty video I made, I am not expecting much from third parties this year. Not much more than we've been getting the whole time. So I honestly think I'm not very optimistic about it, and I want to be proven wrong. I don't want to be right. I want to see a bunch of third party games, but I'm just not one of those people that believe that's actually happening. All right. Let me get into some of the topics here. So first off, obviously today, Smash 3.1 launched, and there was a few things added to the game that some people really care about. But obviously, the strangest, most unique addition to the game is VR mode that can be used in offline matches in certain stages. And where's my level of VR? It's around. Oh, here it is. So I did get a chance to try it out today with my VR goggles, and needless to say, I wasn't really that impressed. It's totally a gimmick. It's basically like giving you a free roam camera in the middle of matches, and it's pointless. It's like the most pointless thing added to Smash ever, I think. It's kind of the thing I don't want to see happen with Labo VR. I don't want to see Labo VR just tossed on to Nintendo games as a gimmick. I want to see them actually try to do something cool and unique and make it immersive. And beyond getting some interesting looks at the maps, in a 360-degree view that you don't get normally, that's pretty much it. There's nothing of value really gained by having the VR goggles. For a moment while I was trying it out, I'm like, oh, it's like I'm watching a Boundary Break episode, right? Like, I must be watching Boundary Break right now, because Boundary Break is the episode that like flies you all over and lets you look at the whole map. So I don't know. I didn't really think it was that great, but maybe you guys think it's great. I have no idea. Let me see here. Simon the Best says, you should have been on Nintendo Ultra's stream the other day. We were joking about Nintendo acquiring Starbucks, but that would be very hard and unlikely. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That one guy, do you sometimes lose backers? I could see that causing some issues. Do I sometimes lose backers? Do you mean like on Patreon? Oh, yeah, I lose backers all the time. I mean, let me just open the Patreon quick. I can tell you right now, I lose backers all the time. I gain backers all the time. It kind of ebbs and it flows. Backer wise, let's see here. I just had this up actually earlier. So in the month of May, we have let's see here. In the month of May, oh man, I gotta show more. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure. Okay, so in the month of May, we lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 backers, right? For a total of $9. Yeah, for a total of 10, 11, for a total of $10. Or I'm sorry, $14. So we have lost $14 in backing this month. But then we also gained let's see here. We gained 1, 2, 3, 4. So we gained 4 new backers. We lost 6 and gained 4. So technically I'm down 2 backers overall compared to a month prior. But each of those new backers were $5 and up. So I ended up, having a net positive gain in revenue. But you don't really know, if you're going to get $5 and up backers or what's going to happen, right? So, but yeah, obviously backers, they fluctuate. That's just the way life goes. Sonic Man, whoa, show that again. It looked like there was glitter on camera. Oh, you know why it looks like there's glitter on camera? Hold on. There's a filter on OBS right now that I need to turn off. Filter, you can see it on the Pikachu in the back, and it's gonna go away right now. It was just the green screen filter was on. Forgot to turn that off from the stream a couple days ago. All right, let's see here. I disagree that Smash VR. I disagree. Smash VR looks pretty cool. It's a matter of opinion. Here's the thing. Smash VR looks weird, right? It offers no use. Like when I put it in here and I was playing it earlier today and doing my thing, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool looking, but it provides no useful benefit to the game. There's no benefit to Smash in VR. There's zero benefit to the game. It adds nothing to the game. It adds zero to the experience. All you're really doing is getting a look basically at out of bounds play. Like you can look more at the out of bounds thing and see the edge of the stages. Like, and so for some people that might be neat, but for me it's like it adds nothing from a gameplay perspective. There's nothing added to the gameplay experience. You're just boundary breaking the game, which is cool, but it doesn't improve Smash. It doesn't make Smash better. At least in Breath of the Wild, they tried to make it immersive. I don't really think it worked that well. I think Mario Odyssey had pretty good implementation, but again, that was really limited in Odyssey. So I think Labo VR has a lot of potential. I don't think tossing it onto Smash Bros. Really adds much of anything other than, oh, it's kind of neat to look at. Like, be honest with yourself. Are you going to play Smash in VR all the time? Does it actually enhance gameplay for you? Kind of makes gameplay worse in some cases because you're not the angles. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into it, but just personally, I not that big of a fan of the VR in Smash. Let's see here. Can you use VR for replays or edited videos? I'm not sure. I didn't test that. Is the channel stagnating? In my opinion, is my channel stagnating? My channel is, I mean, that's one way I guess you can look at it. You could say my channel is stagnating if you want. I don't know. I obviously pay a lot closer attention to the numbers on my channel than maybe some of you guys do. That is a really hard carrot. Sorry, carrots are like my dinner today. So is the channel stagnating? I don't really agree with that assessment that the channel's stagnating. It's just I have had an adjustment period this month where I haven't been uploading as much as consistently. Some features were cut. Prime News was cut this month. Some other things because I am adjusting to a reality where I will not be doing this full time anymore. Once I'm done with E3, there's no more full-time Nintendo Prime. There'll still be daily content, whether it's a live stream, whether it's videos, whatever. But there'll still be daily stuff happening. But it's going to be, basically the frequency you've seen. And that frequency is not, extremely frequent like it used to be. So that is reality. So, of course, viewership is down because I'm producing less content. Produce less content, less people are watching, less things happen, less new subscribers are gained, all that jazz. That being said, I'm not that worried about it. We're about to enter June, and June is our best month in everything. Best month in viewers, best month in subscriber growth, best month for everything, best month in revenue as well. Because we go to E3, and our E3 coverage is just different than everybody else because we're at E3. Sure, you'll see live reactions. We'll live react to all the press conferences, but that's not like why we're at E3, right? We're there to get you hands-on impressions, hands-on footage. And for people that are like, oh, like, why? That's so dumb. Look at all these, like, IGN and all these other outlets are doing it. There's Nintendo Treehouse. You don't need to do it. I'll go back and look at my E3 videos. My vlogs, the daily vlogs, for crying out loud, we're getting 2 to 5K views, which would be hella good compared to what my videos are doing now, and that's the daily E3 vlogs. Like one of the most irrelevant things being made, but it's completely community-based. Look at some of our gameplay of Smash and Wolfenstein and Ninjala and even Mario Tennis Aces, all of it doing 6 to 15, sometimes 20, 30,000 views. Hands-on impressions videos getting 15,000 views per video. Like, I'm telling you, if you think that it's stupid to go to E3 and not worth the investment and not worth, like, all you have to do is just look at the actual viewership of my E3 content versus all the other content on my channel, and you'll clearly see that how we do E3, the hands-on we do that a lot of channels aren't doing, all this stuff makes a difference. It's funny because last year coming out of E3, everyone was saying, man, we wish you could do this kind of stuff more often, right? Like, go to PAX East, go to PAX West, go to the Nintendo New York when they have special demos. Do more preview content, get review copies of things. Like, everyone's like, man, we wish you could do this, but I can't. I don't have access to that kind of stuff. So, but I can do it at E3, so that's what I do. So that's just me being me, and E3 content's huge, and we're gonna have an awesome month of June. I don't know if it'll outdo last year's E3 for us in terms of viewership and numbers. Don't really care because things are different this time around. So last year I went to E3 with a hernia. This year I'm not, so I'll be like, won't be painful for me this year. And I had hernia surgery in June, right? Like literally, or was it in July? I think it was in June. I think it was at the end of June. So like a week and a half after I got back from E3, I had hernia surgery, and that sucked, but that's life. All right. Let's see here. See what some other people got to say. Lots of questions on the channel, which is interesting. I usually don't get a lot of channel questions like that. Let's see here. You should have. Oh wait, I already read that. Why is my chat just jumping? I don't like this. Chat, stop jumping. I'm trying to read things and the chat's just jumping all over. Let's see here. I disagree with you about, so this is from Shadow King 1982. Welcome to the stream, man. So I disagree with you about third party. Now, Western third party, you might have something. Japanese third party, I think you're dead wrong. That's fine. You're free to think what you want. We did get a Harvest Moon game confirmed for Switch. So that was kind of neat. But, yeah, I don't know. I honestly am not expecting any more support than we've already gotten. We've already had good, like we've had decent Japanese third-party support. I don't know that we're suddenly going to get more than we've already been getting, right? More would, I mean, basically more would almost mean that we have full Japanese third-party support, which I don't think that's happening. I don't know. Maybe you do. Like, yeah, realize Switch gets decent third-party support as it is. So to be more than what it's already been means it's got to be like a pretty big bump over what we're used to right now. And we're used to getting Japanese third-party games. We're used to getting some Western AAA games. But when are we going to get all of them? That's really the boost people are looking for, and I don't think that's happening this year. I don't think it will ever happen in the lifetime of Switch. But I want to be wrong, so I hope I'm wrong. There's always going to be that one person that plays VR and Smash all the time. That one person. Yeah, but you can't play it online, so I guess it's not really going to impact people online. I'm like, God, I'd play Smash in VR mode. That was a satisfying, dude. The snap on that carrot, man. That's a hard carrot. I'm telling you, the digital then. What will happen at the first day of your new job? All of the turns around and triples in value. What will happen if the first day on my new job, all of what turns around? The channel? Like, the channel is what? I mean, what would happen to make it triple in value? I mean, there's nothing that... I mean, let's just say, as an example, the unthinkable happens. And in the month of June, my channel goes from 45,000 subscribers or whatever it's at, and I'm over 100K. I'm at 120, 130. That's pretty crazy, right? That's pretty crazy. And the revenue is pretty crazy too, right? I'd be making, I'm assuming, tons and tons of money in June. I'd still have to get another job. One, because the money I made in June would not be arriving for 2 months because of my MCN. So the month of May right now, I've made like $200 roughly. You know, pretty much, that's pretty close to the exact amount I have made on YouTube in the month of May. So $200 is like nothing, and that's my paycheck for July. So like, I'm obviously not surviving on $200 and you know, a few extra $100 off Patreon. $500 or so is not enough to pay my bills. Family of 5, hello. So I'd have to get a job anyways, just because I need money in July. But besides that, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. You kind of got to play it by ear. I'd still have to work another job. I'd still continue doing YouTube videos. And if by the end of July, end of August, things are looking up and the channel's doing great and the Patreon's grown a sizable amount, who knows? I mean, it's one of those things you always reevaluate. The bigger your channel gets, the bigger the Patreon gets, you just reevaluate things as it happens. You can't really just plan to be like, oh man, we're going to explode. And because we explode, I'm going to change. Like, no, I can't change course on anything right now. You can't make... I have a family. I can't make rash decisions like that. I need to see consistency in terms of viewership, sub growth, and revenue for several months before I can be like, okay, you know what? I can quit the job and just do YouTube again. Let's see here. Good question, I suppose. I don't know why there's so many questions, though, about the channel. Are you guys... Maybe this is a question. Are you guys like actually concerned that my channel's dying or something? Is that like a thing that people are worried about because I'm getting a job? I'm just genuinely curious. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of streams to talk to you guys. I haven't heard a lot of people worried that I wasn't going to like be a YouTuber anymore. Let's see here. I think we're getting a Switch Pro or a Switch Mini for next year. Even with the huge next-gen systems, either of those will get Switch at minimum to 80 million units sold. We'll see. I mean, 80. We're still talking years off, man. Like, even at the end of this fiscal year, if they hit their goals, you're still only looking at closer to 50 million. I don't think they're selling 30 million units next year. So I still think we're like 2 years, plus away from getting to 80 million. So I'm not going to make a prediction that far out. We don't know how Switch's sales will be affected by a Mini or a Pro. We don't know how Switch's sales will be affected once next gen hits. It's kind of one of those things we need to wait and see what happens. And for now, Switch is fine. In 2019, all we know in 2019 is Switch has nothing to worry about. So Switch has all the momentum. It's going to probably hold the momentum all year. And then we'll see what happens in 2020. Sonic Man says, this is unrelated to E3, but Express UK drives me crazy. They just posted more clickbait about GTA 6. Yeah, that happens. Ashton Firefalcon XB says, do you think that, according to Kevin Kenson, that PlayStation is killing E3? No. I don't agree with that. There has been some pretty bold statements put out there on Twitter, even from people saying that E3 is basically dead because PlayStation's not there, right? I disagree with that because that would suggest that the only thing that makes E3 relevant was PlayStation. E3 was all around long before PlayStation even existed. So PlayStation is not why E3 exists. Microsoft has already come out, like Phil Spencer has openly admitted that, hey, without Sony there, the pressure's on Microsoft. Like, they have to deliver an amazing show. They're not fighting with third parties to get footage to be in their show. They're the only big platform holder show that gets all the third parties. So they're going to get all the biggest third party games, right? They're going to have 14, quote unquote exclusives to show off. They're going to be talking about probably their next generation system a little bit. They're going to be talking about Project X Cloud. There's a lot of pressure on Microsoft, and a lot of it is because Sony's not there to ease some of that pressure off of them. But that doesn't mean that E3 is in trouble because PlayStation is there. It's not, E3's not dying. Like, E3's attendance is going up every year. Viewership numbers have gone up every year. Now, I don't know if viewership's going to go up this year because I do think, obviously, just like if Microsoft or Nintendo dropped out, there would be less viewership of E3 in general because that's a platform holder. So, like, PlayStation fanboys are probably not tuning in a lot to E3 outside of maybe the Ubisoft and Bethesda and those kind of press conferences because they might be games that are coming to PlayStation from those press conferences. They're interested in Square Enix. I guarantee they'll tune in because they want to see Final Fantasy VII Remake. But after those press conferences, I'm not sure that they might just tune out and not pay attention to the rest of E3. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that worried about it, though. I don't think that E3 is dying because PlayStation's not there. I think that's an over-exaggeration by people who think that PlayStation runs the entire video game industry. Yes, they're the most popular platform right now. Yes, they consistently sell 80+ million units every generation. Guess what? They're not the entire gaming industry, so it's okay. It is a big loss. It would be better if PlayStation was there, but it's all right. And the thing is, I think Sony's going to be back next year. I think Sony knows a lot of their focus right now is on next gen. So they're just kind of waiting because they're not truly ready. And maybe they want to kind of push Microsoft to make the first jump so they can kind of make some changes or something. We'll see. Oh, man. I don't know why I'm got an itch in my nose. All right. Ghostbusters Remastered. Yep, that was day and date on Switch. Yep, that was announced. It was a really good game back on the Xbox 360 when I played it. So I think that's a good get. Granted, it's not just coming to Switch; it's coming to other platforms too. But it's good to see that coming to Switch. My chat just jumped again. Why? I never have the chat jump like this. Let's see here. Maybe I need to go off of Streamlabs and use the official YouTube chat to stop this from jumping. Okay, so Sonic Man the Best says, I thought Review Tech USA's video on YouTube was funny. There was a part where he said, if you are making $3 or $4 a month to pay rent, tell me where you live because I'm moving there tomorrow. I mean, there's actually some third world countries where you could pay $3 to $4 for rent. Heck, you pay $3 to $4 for a 4-star hotel. But that doesn't mean you want to live there. Just because it's really cheap. But yeah, he was obviously trying to make a point. I didn't see the video, so I'm not here to look at it or to discuss that right now. Let's see here. Why does Nintendo keep saying they will sell over 100 million Switch SKUs? They stopped saying that. That was something that they mentioned at the very beginning of the Switch's life cycle, where they said, we think this could sell, this could sell over 100 million, but they don't know. They've kind of backed off those statements. So, and a lot of that was Tatsumi Kimishima. That wasn't Shintaro Furukawa, the new president. So, I was just wondering about backers because I'm strongly considering starting YouTube, and I'm not worried about your channel dying. I'll always continue watching your videos as long as you continue to upload some more content. Well, thanks. Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you're considering starting on YouTube, don't even worry about money. You shouldn't worry about Patreon. Don't worry about backers. Don't worry about any of that. Just make content you're passionate about. Have fun. Success is not guaranteed. Subscriber growth isn't guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. I wouldn't even be worried about Patreon and supporters and money. Like, when you're just starting on YouTube, that should be the furthest thing from your mind, unless you have the backing of a big corporation to get you a bunch of followers. And maybe you do. Maybe I shouldn't presume that you don't have the backing of some big organization. Tommy says, completely no problem. YouTubers keep making content for the channel and have a 9-to-5 job. Real life is the thing. Well, it's not just that I'd have a 9-to-5 or whatever job. It's also that I have 3 kids. Most YouTubers that upload a ton don't have 3 children and work a 9-to-5 and have a fiance and a life outside of like being on the internet. So, and the game and find time to play games. Like there's only so much time in the day. So it is going to be a big change, but we'll see. Any wild E3 predictions? Anything you would like to see, says Trucker. Wild E3 predictions. Wild. What would be wild? The Witcher 3 rumor coming true and coming to Switch. Actually, what would be wild is Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch. That would be pretty wild. Man, some really out there opinions and thoughts. EA not screwing up the Star Wars game. I think like that's everyone kind of just assumes EA is screwing up this Star Wars game one way or another. But what if they don't? What if they just make an excellent 90+ Metacritic rated game? All gamers agree with that rating. They love it, and it's like one of the best Star Wars games ever made. That might happen. I doubt it. I think everyone doubts it. Everyone's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Be like, okay, so EA says it won't be this and that. It's going to be single player. Like, where's the other shoe? The other shoe's going to drop, right? Like, there's always it's an EA game. There's a caveat somewhere. But what if there isn't? That would be a kind of wild out there thought to me because EA almost always is going to EA. It's very rare that they don't. A Way Out, as an example, they didn't really mess with that. They kind of just let them do what they wanted. So, hoping that's the case with this game, but don't know. We haven't really seen anything other than like a CGI trailer, so, and some promises, which EA's broken promises before. So, let's see here. E3 started in 1997 though in Georgia and PlayStation 1. Yeah. Okay. So E3 itself, I didn't mean E3 as a conference. I guess I should have clarified. There were other media events before E3. E3 was not always the go-to, right? There were other media events and gatherings for media before E3. E3 kind of came into existence around the same time that the ESRB did. Like the ESA tried to unite the gaming industry behind these two things. Especially since they were fighting all these legal battles over violent video games. So, you're right in that E3 wasn't around before PlayStation 1, but there were gaming conventions that led into the creation of E3 before then. So I don't really feel like PlayStation is a big pillar of. I should say it's not a big pillar. It's not the pillar. It's not like the supporting wall, right? Like people are always like, oh man, without PlayStation, what the hell is the point of E3? I don't know. Are they the only company that matters? What about Ubisoft and Bethesda and Activision and THQ and 2K and Nintendo and Microsoft and all the PC gaming companies out there and Sega and Square Enix? Like, seriously, do you understand? Like, this is an entire industry gathering. It's not just like Sony's not there. So, okay, so you're not seeing news about PlayStation 5 and you're not seeing announcements of PlayStation 5 exclusives or PlayStation 4 exclusives either. Okay, besides that, you get everything else. Everything else is still there. So what? Okay, you're missing like one or two things, but the rest is there. So like it's not really. It makes it not as good as it could be, but I think it's strategic because a lot of what they want to talk about, I think, is PlayStation 5. And they're not ready. So they figured, why show up to E3 and just disappoint people like we did last year? Let's just wait, get PlayStation 5 rolling, show back up at E3 next year. Now, if they're not at E3 next year, then you know they're just done with E3. But we'll see. Then we can start talking about, are more companies going to start backing out like Sony if they don't come back next year? I think they will be back. I think this is just a temporary hiatus while they're focusing on getting things ready to really talk about and unveil the PlayStation 5. I think later this year, probably at the PlayStation Experience, but we'll see. Let me see here. I'm kind of a slacker. Why is Sony not going to be there? They didn't give an official reason why they're not going to be there. They just said we're not going to be there. Let's see here. Yeah, the Ghostbusters game is backwards compatible on Xbox One. Do you think we'll see a new Smash character revealed at E3? Yes, Game Dave. I definitely think a new Smash Bros. Character is being unveiled at E3. It's about time. I'm actually surprised it hasn't been unveiled already. So, yes. Let's see here. Evernoy, back to the third-party situation. THQ Nordic is a developer. We Switch owners need to pay attention to Darksiders 2 leaked. Rumor on Darksiders 4. Okay, so Biomutant has basically kind of been confirmed for Switch. Darksiders 2 has basically been confirmed for Switch as well, although I don't think anyone's surprised that Darksiders 2 is coming to Switch. It was on Wii U, for crying out loud. Of course it's coming to Switch. Darksiders 4 is interesting because it's not going to be called Darksiders 4. They're rebooting Darksiders. They're rebooting the IP as something else. And that reboot, according to a very reliable place, is coming to Switch. It's also coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, of course. But, yeah, like they're rebooting the franchise, which is crazy, but crazier things have happened. I think they're going to kind of let that trilogy be its thing, and they're going to focus on this. And, like, we didn't get Darksiders 3 on Switch, so, like, but we're getting the reboot? All right, cool. So we'll see what happens. We have no idea. They said it's going to be a very different kind of Darksiders. So we'll see. We'll see what direction they're going in. Darksiders 3 was more like Dark Souls, so maybe that's what they want to do. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. Apple is on the news. They might be shutting down services. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with Nintendo. Let's see here. Is this really the last year of E3 in Los Angeles? That I'm not sure about. There currently, I believe there's no agreement. Hey, $2 super chat. I'll get to that question. I'm going to leave that on screen here. Let me see what Matthew says. It kind of went blurry on my screen. Probably because I'm still uploading a 2-hour video for you guys. Hey, Nate, long time no here. Hope everything's okay. What's up, Matthew? You know what? Everything is so okay. I'm going to give you a full shot for that one. 1 second. The doctor is in. Hello, doctor. Cheers, man. Thank you so much for the $2. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's going good. Thank you for the support. All right, so the thing with E3 right now is they don't have a contract with the convention center after this year. And the reason they don't have a contract with the LA Convention Center after this year is they're looking at other venues. There's kind of this thought process that the convention center might not be big enough. Although if Sony's not coming back, it probably is fine. But it's really crowded. There's a lot of things packed in there, and they feel like they want a bigger space. And there's other areas they're considering in California. They've considered moving it to other states. E3 is going to be around, but it might not be in LA. So we'll see what happens. If I had to venture to guess, this is the third time something like this has come up where they didn't renew the contract and they were looking for other venues and they just ended up staying at the convention center anyways. So if I had to venture to guess, they're just going to end up re-upping the contract with the convention center and just stay where they are, because until they actually move, they did move for 1 year. They did actually try a new location 1 year, and it was such a disaster they brought it back to the convention center. So I have a feeling that things will end up working out and they'll just be back in the convention center all over again. But if it's not and it's somewhere else, okay, well, I'll travel to that somewhere else, and that's where I'll be going to E3. Heck, maybe it'll be cheaper. I mean, LA is pretty expensive, so maybe it'll be cheaper than LA, although I'll miss Fat Tomato Pizza. Anyways, let's see here. And the thing is, we'll know, by the way. We'll literally know during E3. They announced the next year's E3 during E3. So what they'll do is they put up signs on the final day, in the last hour, and it'll say, "Hey, thanks for coming. E3 next year on these dates at the convention center." Like, it literally tells you on the final day of E3 where the next E3 is going to be. So I'm sure we'll literally know in 2 weeks or so where the next E3 is going to take place. I'm guessing it's staying. Let me see here. God, I don't know why this chat just jumps like mad. Never had this issue. Scrolling down. We have 2 people watching on Twitch. That's crazy to me. 2 people on Twitch. Sweet Ride 95 is the current. Sweet Ride 95 is the current stream boss. Nice. Sonnyman the Best says, I'm going to give my prediction for Apple. I think iTunes and the App Store are going to merge. Probably. It makes a lot of sense for them to merge. I am talking about this WWDC next week, and rumblings of iTunes shutting down are up. Yeah, I think it's just going to be like a consolidation. They're just going to take the services and combine them where it makes sense. Which, I mean, Google's done that same thing, so it doesn't surprise me. They're going to probably do something like that. Rebooting, there was nothing wrong with it. The big thing about Darksiders is, if you guys remember, it was made by THQ. THQ doesn't exist anymore. THQ Nordic's a thing, but it was really Nordic who bought out all these IPs and then bought out the brand name of THQ and then rebranded themselves to THQ Nordic. They don't have the same developers making it anymore, so I think their process is, we're going to reboot Darksiders because we have our own development team that wants to do their own take on the series, and it doesn't really fit in with what Darksiders has been. So they want to actually just say, you know what, screw it, we're just going to reboot it because, hey, we own it now. Let's do it our way because we're not THQ. We're not going to make the game like THQ does. So, and I think they found that out when they released Darksiders 3 because that was their first new Darksiders game, and there was a lot of mixed reactions because it wasn't like 1 and 2. So their thought process is probably, look, we can't do Darksiders 4. We need to reboot this thing, do it our own way, get rid of the expectations that it's going to be like Darksiders 1 and 2 because that was made by a studio that doesn't exist anymore. Let's see here. E3 will be at Nate's house. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, my house is clearly big enough. It's barely big enough for my family, but it's big enough to have 70,000 people here. I could probably fit like one E3 booth in my backyard. Shots on an early evening stream, huh? Yep. You know it. I don't stream enough anymore to care. Could it change? Not like a week and a half before, but it could change 9 months ahead of time. I know they book it like 12 months ahead of time for many things. It could change, yeah. But as I said, we'll know by the end of E3 because literally on the last day of E3, they tell you where it's going to be. Hey, Nate, you picking up Death Stranding? I don't own a PlayStation 4 right now, so probably not. If I do own a PlayStation 4, then probably. But we'll see. I don't know how much money I'm going to be making yet, new jobs and all that, and how much extra money I'll have for games. I don't know. Right now, my gaming budget is at like $0 a month. I got to get that back up so I can start getting games again. I have bought, I think, 1 game in 2019 out of like a dozen that I want to buy. So I gotta get that job rolling and see what disposable income I have before I start worrying about what I'm going to pick up in the future. How close will I be to the convention center? It's about a 45-minute drive. From the hotel we're at, it's about a 45-minute drive. We're all right. We already know. We were at the same hotel last year, so. Let's see here. I hope Switch Force is more streetwise this E3 and don't need thousands of dollars in electronics unguarded in their car this time. The biggest issue they had is they left some of the electronics in the back seat. If they had it all in the trunk, I don't know that they would have had the car broken into. So that's a big thing. Like with us, sometimes I have to leave my camera in the car because, you know, someone always ruins it and then I can't bring my camera into E3. But we always cover it up and make it like in a bag, inconspicuous, kind of toss a t-shirt on top of it and throw it in the trunk. So if someone does break in and go and just, or if, whatever, we try to make it so people don't feel like there's a reason to break into the car. So that's kind of how we do it. I don't blame them initially because, like, I don't know. I mean, it's until it happened. Like, they had the car locked up and they weren't gone for very long. I get it, but it's LA. Like, things happen like that in LA, and I know that. I've never had anything bad happen to me yet in terms of someone stealing things from me, but I know it could happen. So, hope it doesn't, though. For them, for me, or for anyone else. Since we're talking about breaking into cars, what happens if someone breaks into a car and their alcohol they steal and you backseat covered up and they still stole it? What? What happens if someone breaks into a car and they steal what, the alcohol? I don't know what you're talking about. It just sounds like I have no idea what you're trying to say, Sonic Man. I do not understand the question. Sab Vasquez says, please don't leave anything in your car. I live in LA and have a couple of family members' cars broken into because there's an iPod in the back seat or a DS or a purse. Well, that's the one thing is you never leave anything in the seat to tempt people. But I know that. I just know that from being in LA. I've been there a couple times. I know that. Just don't leave anything visible in the car. But I admit the camera gets left in sometimes because they won't let me bring the camera in. And if I can't bring the camera in, I'm not going to drive 45 minutes back to the hotel to drop off the camera, then drive 45 minutes back and miss, an hour and a half to 2 hours. It might even take longer to get back because now I'm in rush hour. So I might end up missing 2-3 hours, half a day on the show floor because I'm going to put my camera back at the hotel. No, I'll just put it in the truck. If it gets stolen, it gets stolen, and that sucks. It really sucks, but worry about it if it ever happens. Do I eat kale, says Matthew Campos. No. I have ate kale before. Wasn't a big fan. Can the driver get in trouble for that if they took every measure to hide it? No. If someone stole a bottle of alcohol from your car, the person whose car it is never gets in trouble if someone steals alcohol from your car. You didn't do anything wrong. You're allowed to have alcohol in your car in a closed container that you can't reach from the front seat. You're allowed to have a bottle of alcohol. Like, you're allowed to, buy alcohol and bring it back home. Like, it's not against the law. So if someone breaks in your car and steals it, even if it's a minor, you're not responsible for that. The only time you're ever responsible for a minor is if you are providing and or buying the booze for that minor. So if you hand a minor alcohol knowingly, if you buy a minor alcohol, that's where you get in trouble. If the minor breaks into your car and steals alcohol, you're not responsible for that at all. That's not on you. Because someone I talked to got in trouble for having a wreck and the drinks broke open. Yeah, that's something that's something you fight in court. It's hard when you're in a car crash because you can't have open containers. And the car crash broke the containers, so it looks like open containers, but it's really not. It's one of those situations that you kind of have to take it to court. You kind of lawyer up, go to court, and the charges will get, especially if you're in a wreck, they'll usually just get tossed out as long as you test below, like if they take a blood test on you and you were below, like it showed you didn't drink. But again, that's something you worry about in the court system. There's obviously unique situations everywhere, and the government's always trying to make money, but it's not against the law. I don't know why we're talking about that. It's a really weird question. I think one game that could possibly get delayed to 2020 is Animal Crossing. Well, yeah, it's the only game out of all of the games announced for 2019 we haven't seen any gameplay of. So that would suck. I don't think it's getting delayed, though. Let's see here. Spawn's coming to Mortal Kombat 11. Yep. Trump's whole... Why are we talking about Trump? Trump's whole China tax thing will definitely endanger all platforms. Hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, we don't get into politics here, so... I know that was a kind of a political video. I kind of regret making it. We don't talk about politics, so I'm just going to kind of let that go. In your opinion, is E3 worth flying out for a typical fan, as in someone who isn't media/content creator? I live in Massachusetts and always wanted to go. I always say, if you have had a dream of going to E3, it's always worth going at least one time. I wouldn't go more than once, though. It's expensive, especially if you're going hotel. Now, if you have a buddy you can stay with and save money, great. But if you're going hotel, it's expensive. You know, you're talking anywhere from $200 to $300 per night that you're there. It's very crowded. The traffic's horrible. So if you rent a car, or even if you get in a shuttle, it's just going to take you ages to get there and ages to get back. But once you're there, it's nice. You're not going to get to play a lot of games. I can tell you that right now. As someone who does actually play a lot of games, the entire reason I play a lot of games is because that's the only reason I'm there. I am there to zip around and play every game I can. I am not there to take in the sights, browse, look at cool things. Oh, there's this cool cosplay. I ain't got time for that. I'm out. Peace. Like, I ain't got time. I got time to eat. I ain't got time for nothing. I'm there on a mission. And that mission is to play every single game that's there that's on Switch. So, for me, obviously, job-wise, it's worth it. But for a fan, it's always worth going once if you have the money. I wouldn't go more than once, though. Unless you live in LA, obviously. That's a lot different if you live there. But if you're, like, traveling, flying in, staying at hotels, like, it's worth it for one time. That's all I can really tell you. When you're in LA, visit Game Dude. It's an awesome retro game store about 30 minutes from downtown LA. I guarantee you that won't happen. I don't got time. I don't really visit it. When I'm in LA, I don't really visit anywhere. The only thing I ever do is I go to a beach for a little bit, and that's it. I don't visit anywhere in LA. I don't have time. I'm there to work. It's a work trip. There's no casual fun. There's no extra money for me to even, like, say I go to a retro game store. I do not like going into a store unless I have the intent to buy something. So if I walk into a retro game store, I'm going to want to buy stuff. I ain't got money to buy stuff. So I'm not going to go in. I don't want to be tempted. Because I'll end up spending my food budget, and then I won't even have money for ramen noodles. So it's not going to happen. I'm out in LA to sightsee. Maybe someday I'll go to LA as an actual vacation and then sightsee and see some stuff and go to Disneyland and all. But like I'm there to work. Literally, I am making content all day long, every single day I'm in LA, nonstop. So, besides when I go to the beach, on Friday that Friday, I'll be making some content, but I am going to go to the beach that day for like 2 or 3 hours. Just because every time I go to LA, I only ever get out to the beach for like 20 minutes. So I want to get out there for a few hours, actually swim a little bit, relax just a tad bit before everything really gets going on the 8th. The 6th is not a relaxing day, but once we get to the 8th, it's on. It's just on like Donkey Kong. But on the 7th, I get to relax for a few hours when I'm not making videos, and I want to go to the beach for that because I like the beach. I like being oceanside. It's just nice, and there's a really nice beach actually near our hotel that we found last time that we'll probably go back to. What's up, Andrew Jex? How's it going, man? I see you. Sab, by the way, I'm not shouting, like, I don't want to shoot down like you're suggesting. I appreciate the suggestion. I've been suggested a zillion places to visit in LA. I just don't have time. I wish I did, but I don't. I got too much work to do, man. It's a work trip. You can ask Eric. Eric and I almost got in an argument today. Believe it or not. Eric and I never argue. But we got in a debate today because he wanted to buy some gimbals, right? Because if they get to the point where they take away our camera and don't let us bring the camera inside, we want gimbals for our phone so we can have steady footage. So we're not holding it with our hands, trying to keep it still. We can have a gimbal that'll keep it still and have great looking footage. And the thing is, I can't afford a gimbal, right? It's $80. I can't afford it. So he was going to buy me one. And I told him no. I straight up told him no. I told him that, he already does too much for me. He's the best friend anyone can ask for. He's already invested way more money into the Nintendo Prime than he has any business doing. More money into me than he has any business doing. Than I have any business collecting on. I still owe him money from the E3 trip from 3 years ago. No, you're not buying me a gimbal. Then he said, consider it a birthday present. And I'm like, no, Take the money that you were going to use for the gimbal and pay it towards your student loans. I literally just told I'm not going to accept you buying me a gimbal. If I think, if I want a gimbal for this trip, I'll have to, make the money to buy it. And I'm not going to have the money to buy it. I literally have no money left. The only money I have is $100 for food. So that's what, and then probably less than 100 because I forgot I got to pay baggage fees at the airport when you leave, and so it's really less than 100. But whatever, I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not like, oh my gosh, guys, give me a bunch of money. No, don't do that. You want to support me? Great, support me. You don't have to. You want to go to Patreon and become a new Patreon member? Cool, do it or don't. It's all right. It doesn't really matter. I'm making this kind of general statement. I guess I'll tell you guys this too. I am done asking anyone or expecting anyone to buy me anything. I know for like the past year, I'd probably say really the past year, I've e-bagged. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I've e-bagged. I've e-bagged a ton. And I hate it. I told myself I would never do it. And here I sit, knowing that I've e-bagged a lot. So I'm done doing it. I'm not going to sit here and put up fundraisers. Like I think there's actually a donation fundraiser right now for E3 equipment, whatever. It's irrelevant. I'm going to get rid of that fundraiser here probably by the next stream. Thank you so much. No. Yeah, no, for the $5. What do I do with my booze? But I'm done. Like, I'm not letting Eric pay for anything anymore. I'm not letting fans pay for anything anymore. You guys can still super chat and donate, of course. You can still support on Patreon. That's all fine and dandy, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, you need to go support on Patreon, or I'm not going to be able to do this full time anymore. Oh my gosh, you need to, donate a bunch of money, or I can't eat tonight. I can't get pizza or whatever. Or, oh, you need to do this. Or, oh, I need this equipment. Oh, I need a laptop. I need a new lens for my camera. I need this. I need that. No, I'm done. If I want and or need things for my job as a YouTuber, I'm going to work my ass off to make the money to get it. Maybe working my ass off is just doing more YouTube stuff, right? Like maybe, streams and all that, and earning your guys' super chats and donations. But I would want to do that without mentioning that I need something or I'm trying to raise money for something. I don't want you guys feeling like you're obligated to buy me stuff. And I hate that. I hate that people sometimes feel that way. If you want to support the channel, great. I will never stop anyone from supporting the channel and supporting my work and enabling me to do more of this. To be honest, the only reason I can even do as much work as I do on YouTube is because of our members on Patreon. But I don't expect any of it. I told Eric today I don't think I deserve any more than $100 on Patreon for the work that I do. I think I'm a mediocre at best YouTuber. I'm really passionate about what I do. I love what I do. Really enjoy it. I work hard at it. But I know I'm pretty much a mediocre YouTuber. And I don't think I deserve the money I do get. I don't think I've deserved that $5 that someone just super chatted me. I don't think I deserve any of it. But if people want to support me, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to do fundraisers anymore to buy new equipment or I'm just done. You guys can support me. I'll mention the ways you can support me, and that's it. Heck, you can become a member on YouTube even, like the YouTube member thing as well. Like that's another way, a Twitch Prime subscriber or whatever. Cool. But I'm kind of done asking for money. I don't like it. I feel really crappy doing it. So, cheers. You know what's bad when I'm telling Eric, no, you can't buy me a gimbal. Not even for my birthday. Like, I won't even accept it. All right, let's see here. Do you think we'll get a SNES game on Switch online for the E3 week? I don't think so. I want it to happen, but it's not going to happen. On the future vacation, go hang out with Jeff Keighley. Did your children enjoy Detective Pikachu, says Matthew Campos? My daughter really loved it a lot. My son, he liked parts of it, but there are parts of it that were a little boring for him. He really liked the action sequences a lot. But the other parts of it, he was kind of, like, he didn't understand the jokes, so he wasn't laughing. He saw me laugh. And then he would like try to laugh, but it was a fake laugh. He had no idea what was going on. But I think when he's a little older, he'll enjoy it more. But my daughter is a little older, and she enjoyed it more. So, let's see here. Have you guys done the betting special? It has actually not been recorded yet, but I know when it's being recorded and I know when it's going up, and our patrons get it first. So, several years ago, I made the mistake of asking people to subscribe. I don't do that anymore. Tweeting something to the general is one thing. Bugging a person is another. I didn't beg per se, but in the same league, I guess I could say. Well, here's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong asking people to subscribe. Like, if you want to be like, hey, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe for more content, like the video, share it with your friends. So there's nothing wrong with saying that stuff. Nothing wrong at all. Because what ends up happening is a lot of people watch content and they forget to subscribe. Like, I forgot to subscribe to Philip DeFranco for years until all of a sudden I got to a point in the video where he reminded me. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm not subscribed? And sure enough, I wasn't, and I subscribed. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think where it's wrong is when you're like, hey, give me money or else this. Or I need you to give me money for this. I need money for this. I don't need you guys' money. I'm going to be having a different job. So if you guys want to support and want to enable me to have more time to do things, great. But I don't expect it. I don't expect my Patreon to maintain the level it's at now. We're like over $300. I'm sure by the end of summer it'll be under $200 just because I'm making less content. Unless something drastically changes, of course. I mean, it could. I don't know. I can't predict the future. So, let's see here. What's your take on Switch Online? I'm glad it's cheap. That's about it. I'm just glad it's cheap. Don't really have much positive to say, but it's cheap. So I'll pay it because it's not a lot of money for me to continue to play games online, even though I hate paying any money when I already pay for internet. I basically consider it like a small increase to my internet bill every month. Let's see here. That one guy says, you most definitely deserve everything you are given. You work hard as anyone. You always get plenty. I mean, I'm not questioning, my work ethic and how hard I work. It's just I feel like you get what you deserve in life in general, but when I'm like hey, send me to E3 this year or this or like I'm asking people to like support these big donation drives or whatever, it's kind of like, why am I doing that, right? Like, I'm not getting what I deserve. I'm asking I'm asking people for stuff instead of like people just naturally donating to me, right? Like, you don't see big streamers that get a lot of support, like say Player Essence, asking people to give him money. In fact, he actively tells people not to give him money, but people keep showing up and keep giving him money because they want to and they want to show. Like, I want people to want to support me, but I don't want to have to, like, reminder, support me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between getting support and telling people you need to support me or else, right? There's a huge difference between that. Anyways, gotta love the conversion. I donated $5 Canadian the other day, and it was $3.85. It's probably, it's like different every day. And that $5, let me see here. What are that $5? Is that pounds or euros? I can never tell. That converted to a little more than 5. That converted to $6.32 for me because it's worth more than the US dollar. So there you go. I'm glad you realized that, Nate. I've never said anything, but I kind of saw it at times. But I knew it was rough times, so I wasn't going to say you're e-begging because even then maybe you felt that you did more than we actually saw. I mean, I do a lot of things you guys never see, but that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, right? You get what you deserve. So, like, if I'm not making money doing what I'm already doing, then like this month, right? Made $200. I probably don't even deserve to make the $200 I did. Whatever. Viewership was down, subscriber count was, like, I got what I deserve. I wasn't streaming a lot, so there wasn't a lot of super chats and donations coming. I got what I deserve. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, I only have $200 coming in July. You guys better, like, hit me up with tons of super chats. Like, no, I'm good. Don't worry about it. It's my problem to deal with. I'm going to have a job. I'm going to have money. I'm not even worried about it. Take care of myself. Just like I did last week. I didn't have enough money to pay my bills this month, and I worked a bunch of odd jobs last week to make an extra $1,000. Like, I'll worry about it. It's on me. I'll take care of it. Unfortunately, I don't have any odd jobs I can work between now and when I leave for E3. That sucks because I want to increase my food budget, but what are you gonna do? You know, I'll be all right. Don't give money for my food budget. I'm cool. It's just I wish that I didn't blow all my odd jobs that I had to do in 1 week. That was my bad. My bad. Let's see here. No, what I did was wrong because I would leave a comment on a video. Oh, so you can comment on other people's videos, but what you should do, you got to make it more natural. Like, don't just comment to get people to subscribe per se. Like, leave a comment on a video that you actually watch that's related to, like, it's okay to, how do I put this? If you're watching a giant YouTuber that's related to the same kind of videos you make, comment on there. If you get a comment where you're getting tons of likes, 500, 600, 1,000 likes on your comment, there's nothing wrong with replying to your comment and be like, hey, if you like my take on this or my opinion, I make videos about this kind of stuff as well on my YouTube channel. And then, just telling people that. What ends up happening then is you're getting more organic growth because then people are only clicking on your name because they liked your opinion. That's a more natural way. Don't go to like, sub for sub. That's against YouTube's rules. Or don't go to like, hey, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Like, that's never going to work anyways. It doesn't really work. But if you can just be a normal viewer and then just casually mention to people when they're mass liking your comment that, hey, by the way, if you like my opinions, like I have a whole channel where I talk about this stuff. That's organic and there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually encouraged. That's an encouraging way to grow your channel within a community you're trying to grow your channel with. I don't actually do it enough. I probably should do that more often, to be honest. But it's hard to find time. Have a great night. Thanks, Andrew Jex. You got to go, but I wish I could stay. Probably see you on the next stream. Later, man. Let's see here. In order to stream, you have to pay to have an opinion without being blocked. Well, let's not get into... I disagree with that assessment, but I understand why some people feel that way about OJ streams. So I'm not going to get into his rules on his streams. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see it in my video, Sonic Man. I always mention, hey, subscribe for more content. If you like the video, drop a like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you'll see me mention it just like, it's like automated at this point. I don't even think about it. Hey, Sab Vasquez hits us with a $5 super chat. Don't even know what it says yet. Gotta get the shot poured out for it. He says, get yourself some Almeida swamp meat churros or street tacos when you're in LA. Only 5 minutes from the convention center. You'll have to let me know where that is. Or is that the name of the place? Is it Almeida swamp meat? Is that the name of it? So I can look it up when I'm there. I'm already stopping at Raising Cane's on the way to E3 because Corey, or on the way in Minnesota before we get on the plane, because Raising Cane's apparently makes really, really good chicken strips, which I've never heard of a place that just makes some really good chicken strips. So that'll be interesting. He sent some dill honey sauce from Canada to have with him. So I already have to stop at Raising Cane's, which eats into my food budget, but what are you going to do? And, maybe we'll stop. And I love tacos. So I don't mind maybe getting some street tacos. As long, no sour cream, but all the other stuff they can throw on, I don't really care. I'll eat everything else. Sweet. Thank you so much, man, for the suggestion. I'm gonna actually make a note on my phone. Oh man, I'm actually gonna do something that I rarely do with my phone. Actually, take a real note. What's it called? Because maybe we'll walk there for dinner or something one day. Almeida swap. I mean, we walk a ton, but all right. I got that jotted down. All right. Was the Mexican restaurant. Nice. Cheers, man. All right. I can't stand people in comments who demand. Yeah, I don't. I suggested you don't demand. Just like actually be a legit viewer of the channel, and then like leave a comment. And if your comment ends up blowing up, like I've had that happen a few times on ESPN, where I've had some of my sport comments blow up. Granted, that's not related to my channel, but as an example, if I was in like beat 'em ups in the comment section on his videos, and I made a comment, an opinionated comment reply to one of his videos, and it got a whole bunch of upvotes or a whole bunch of likes, I might casually mention, "Hey, if you guys like this, like I have a channel," and that's fine. That's called organic growth. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's promoting yourself by actually being a member of the community, rather than just going into random communities and being like, "Hey, sub to my channel, sub to my channel." Like that's annoying. Don't do that. It's not against the rules, but it doesn't work, so don't do it. Let's see here. Marlin Gaming Nation, are you still doing YouTube full time? I am currently still a full time YouTuber until I get a new job after E3, and then I won't be a full. But I haven't been working YouTube full time. I have purposely cut back my hours on YouTube to try to prepare myself for what it's going to be like when I do have a job. I don't want to just go into. I just don't want to hit the grindstone, get the job, and then just be totally shocked at how little time I have for YouTube. So I wanted to be more realistic. So I've been taking what would normally be an 8-hour chunk of my day spent doing this, taking the 8-hour chunk and spending it somewhere else, like I have a job, 8 to 9 hours. Hanging with my kids or doing whatever, like I have a job, and then seeing how much time I still have left over to still spend with my family and my kids and doing this. So I'm kind of preparing myself a bit. But yeah, when I'm at E3, it's full-time all the time, baby. You're getting so many videos. I mean, it's going to be 30-plus videos in 10 days. More than that, really. I mean, it's probably this year looking, there'll be at least 9 vlogs, I think. At least 9 vlogs. And then who knows how many games. How many games that we play. So you have hands-on impressions of every game that we play, plus footage of every game. And then I'm hoping to dabble into accessories as well. That we didn't do. So it's going to be crazy. A lot of stuff happening. By the way, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Nintendo_Prime. I will be putting up random, just like selfies or just, cool little screenshots I take. Or cool little pictures I take while I'm at E3. I'll be throwing up some behind-the-scenes stuff on Instagram. Exclusively to Instagram. If people want to check us out on Instagram and follow and get some insight. I already put stuff up there once in a while. I put up something today on a piece of equipment that came in for E3 that we're bringing with. Came in the mail today, so. Let's see here. Had to go. That's all right. Let's see here. Damn the Bucks. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, BJ. Let's see here. Hey, bro, OP, how's it going? Been a bit since you caught one of my live streams, and I wasn't working. How are things? And are you looking forward to Ghostbusters Remastered? Okay, so first off, things are going well. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. I don't really have anything bad or overly positive to say. E3's coming up. That's pretty exciting. As for Ghostbusters Remastered, hell yeah, I'm excited. I didn't beat the game, but I played a lot of it back on the Xbox 360, and I remember it being really good. So it coming to Switch and obviously all the other platforms, awesome. Awesome. If I happen to have the money at the time that it comes out, I might pick it up, but we'll see. Right now, I don't really have a game budget. That's why I haven't bought like more than one game this year, which kind of sucks. I bought Yoshi, and that's pretty much it. There's a lot of games I want to buy. I just don't have the budget right now. So hopefully, in a few months, I'll have a better idea what my gaming budget's going to be for the rest of the year. Plus, you got to know if Switch Mini or Switch Pro is coming. I mean, that throws a kink in everything. Am I a Ghostbuster? Obviously not. When am I leaving to E3? I fly out on the 6th at like 6:30 or 7 a.m. But I leave my house on the 5th because we're going to a hotel. Because we're flying out from Minneapolis, which is about an hour and a half away. So we're going out to a hotel there that's got hotel and then parking where we're going to park our car for the entirety that we're gone. We're spending the night because we have to leave. So we basically don't want to stay home and then have to leave at like midnight. So we can get our car to the parking and then get over to the thing. Like we'd rather be able to sleep until 2 or 3 a.m. Or basically trying to buy ourselves a few extra hours of sleep. And you could argue, is the few extra hours of sleep worth like the $130 I paid for the hotel room? Probably not. But I say that now. I'll be really appreciating it the day of the flight that I got that hotel room for $130. So like, we're good. I feel like it was a smart decision. So, and I'm going to bed super early, like 9 p.m., whatever. I'm going to bed, like conking out, done. And that's really early for me. So at least I'll probably get 6 hours of sleep. I'm hoping. Let's see here. Super Chat only gives him the money 2 months from now. 2 months from now. Super Chats, I get 2 months from now. Except I'm canceling my MCN. So after August, I believe, I'll be back to getting it the next month. So like if you Super Chat, like now, I would get it, in June or whatever. So that'll be changing by the end of summer. But for now, Super Chat away. I don't really care. You can also use the Streamlabs donation link. That's fine. Less money is taken out of that because the big thing really isn't that I get the money 2 months from now. It's like Google takes a cut of every Super Chat because, of course, they do. It's their platform. But if you use the Streamlabs donation link or the direct PayPal link, it's just basically PayPal fees, which are much smaller than YouTube's cut. But I don't really care. Super Chat. Don't Super Chat. It's okay. Do what you want. Let's see here. You'll see it's really cool. Yeah, if time permits. Obviously Sabat, time is of the essence, obviously. I think maybe on the first day, maybe we can go there for lunch. Because the first day, we basically watch the Nintendo press conference, and then we have a little bit of breakfast, and then we head out. Maybe what we'll do instead of having breakfast that day is we'll head out and see if they're open and grab a little taco brunch before we go get in line. Matthew Campos hits us with a $2 super chat, and he says, do you still have your P.O. box open? Yes, I do. Actually, thanks for reminding me, because I think next month it's due for renewal. I renew it every 6 months. So I'm pretty sure when I get back from E3, one of the first things I'm going to have to do is go down to the post office and renew my P.O. box. But yes, or I think I could do it online, actually. But yes, P.O. box is still wide open. Thank you so much for the $2, man. I appreciate all the support during the stream, guys. That's awesome. Been streaming for like an hour and a half, and what do you make, $20 or something? Oh, maybe not $20. That might be exaggerating a bit. I don't know. Whatever. Thank you guys so much for your support. I don't know. I don't want to do math right now. All right. Patrick Gardner is here. How's it going, man? Am I going to fix Snowboard Kids because of the Nintendo DS Snowboard Kids problem? What's wrong with... I didn't play the DS Snowboard Kids, so what's wrong with it? And I can't fix it. I don't work at Nintendo. So, I just want 5-minute driving distance. Ooh. Well, you know what? It still might be faster to walk in LA versus a 5-minute driving distance. We'll see. I'll see how far it is. I mean, if it's like a couple miles, it's not a big... Oh, my fiance's calling on. I got to answer this. She was just letting me know she's on the way home with the boys, so I have to go get a bath and the pajamas ready here in like a minute. Do I think Yoshi's Island theme for Mario Maker 2? That'd be awesome. I don't know. I want to ask something about Quantic Dream. Do you think they will port games to Switch next year? NetEase was at the press conference the other night. I have no idea. The name Quantic Dream sounds really familiar, but I forget the games that they've been working on. I love OJ streams now. I think if you take him too personally, either you take the topic he rants about too seriously. Yeah. I just don't take a lot, like, he's being serious about some things, but I just don't take him that seriously, and then it's much easier to enjoy the streams. I don't know. That's just me, though. Everyone's different. Tenor Prime, did I read your chat? Yes, I did. I'm just kind of going through things quickly here. How do I feel about fans buying or giving you the games that they have and sending them to you so that you can make some hands-on content covering them? I never promise content creation, so if people send me games to my P.O. Box, I never guarantee that, one, I'll play them, and two, I'm going to make content around them. I never promise anything. When it comes to people sending stuff to my P.O. Box, that's up to them. I can't promise I'm going to do something just because people sent me something, right? Like, as an example, let's say somebody right now went and donated $300 to my whatchamacallit? My Streamlabs donation link, right? They donate $300 to it. And they say, hey, go buy your son a Switch. I can't guarantee that I'm going to buy him a Switch. Because there are fees taken out of that, and there won't even be enough for a Switch, and I don't have enough to add on to that to get him a Switch. So, like, I can't guarantee that would happen. If you want to buy him a Switch, then buy him a Switch and send it to him in the mail, right? It's one of those things where I can't make promises when people send me stuff that I'm going to actually play it or this or that. And I know that might frustrate some people, but that's just the way it is. I mean, I can't just suddenly, because someone sent me some games, make time to play those games or guarantee I have interest in playing those games, right? So I try to be open and honest about that P.O. Box, man. You can send me whatever you want. I can't guarantee I'm going to ever use it. Corey sent me freaking ketchup chips. I tried it, hate it. We'll never eat them again. Let's see here. When the month rolls over, I'll be up. You'll up the Patreon to $5 for June. Got a little surplus before a convention by the end of it. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it rolls over tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow's the 1st, so tomorrow's when it rolls over. Obviously, you don't want to do it now because then you'll charge now and then charge tomorrow. I get that. But yeah, rolls over tomorrow. So cool. Well, thanks for the extra $5, man. I appreciate it because the money from Patreon is actually paying the hotel, and then what's left over from that is actually my food budget. Plus baggage fees and stuff. So the Patreon money is actually going towards the E3 trip this time around. So, how do you feel about fan? Oh, I already read that. Man, there's a lot of questions. I can't get to everything. Did I bump the stream button? No, it's still streaming. How long the Teneric? I have no idea. Fahrenheit, Indigo, Prophecy, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. Okay, yeah. I hear you. Heavy Rain, I would like to see on Switch. That'd be sweet. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go get the bath ready for my kids and all that good pajamas. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support. I'm gonna shout out to everyone here. First off, we had a grand total of $15.32 in USD for super chats. Let's see here. $2 from Matthew Campos. Thank you so much. $5 from Sav Vasquez. No, did. I think it was £5. Thank you so much for that. Matthew Campos, another $2. Thank you guys so much for all that. Also, I might as well give a shout out. We did get one new patron today. It happened before I was streaming. But Hyrulean Julian, thank you so much for becoming a $5 patron backer today. I will be making a special video to you while I'm at E3. Remember, folks, if you go join our Patreon at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime for $5 or more from now until the end of June 13th, I will be doing a personalized video sent to you thanking you for your patronage, and it'll be something featuring something at E3. It'll be kind of cool. So I can't really explain it because it's going to be private and personal. I'm not sharing it with the public. So thank you so much for you guys' support, and I'll catch you later. Bye.